Hi, Christopher. We can give you credit for this drawing if you would please post it in the discussion. If it's too big, I want you to see the announcement where I say, post all drawings per these specs. It should show you how to minimize the size so it uploads readily. Now, I think in drafts, I thought this was Dana's. So you've seen the markup in drafts. If not, go to take a look, and please use our file naming standard so I know whose is whose post downloading. Hello, Dana. I know I switched your drawing with Christopher's. Both of you uploaded to doc sharing, and neither of you used your name on the file naming. So I'm very sorry for that. This drawing is quite good. There were only some minor discrepancies before, and also I was concerned that perhaps you hadn't read, but now I think I'll have the opinion that maybe Christopher didn't get around to reading before he made this first drawing. With your second drawing, things look okay. I like the amount of information we have on the left near the front. I would say that more attention could be given to the door to the rear, and perhaps more objects could be included on the right side. Hello, Christina. You must have seen my markup on your first drawing there in the draft review. Please know that you need to be using a ruler, and it looks like you're in that habit now. Things look good with the interior. A couple of little notes. I wonder about the placement and size of the window. It seems low. I'm also looking at the cupboard, is it, at the top right, and I'm trying to understand which wall that attaches to. I'd like you to take a look at the little lesson I made about cabinets that you'll see pasted into one of your classmates' reviews here. Hi, Sarah. There's a lot that's good about these two. With the first one, when you're cropping, make sure that your horizon line is level. You can use a guide in order to help you find just where that needs to be. Also, your drawings both look dark. The second one does need cropping. Use layer, new adjustment layer, brightness and contrast to adjust the contrast. Also, make sure your drawings stay clean. I see stain on one of them. Now, taking a look at the interior, this all looks quite good. A couple of small notes. I'd like to see you pay more attention to the placement of the tiles on the floor. And also, what about the fridge? Is it deep enough? That's to say, is the side that faces us wide enough for a standard fridge? And then I look also to the sinks. You may have heard me discussing in the drafts review how I've got two things the same, be they cupboard doors or sinks. The nearer one will look larger. Hi, Nicole. Thank you for posting drafts in both cases. I see that you've made adjustments to both drawings. Both have a slightly grainy look to them, and I wonder if this has to do with the way you're preparing the photos. I think that the graininess is going to be an issue with works that you photograph versus ones you scan, by the way. I noticed that in the interior you decided to crop the composition, and sometimes that's the best solution. If it was me, I would leave just a little more space to the left of the table up there in the left side of the drawing so that it doesn't look crowded. Hi, Leanne. This drawing shows that you understand the concepts. By now you've probably seen the drafts review that I made for Christina for the same project. Please understand that in this class we are making finished drawings, so your drawing should be polished. Please use a ruler, draw with a pencil, take care and time. Also make sure that your horizon line is level when you crop your drawing so that your work is presented well. Hi, Abram. Well, I think you've seen my notes on both of these drawings. I don't believe they've been changed since the drafts review. Thank you for posting drafts. Here I've added that item that I assembled for you with regard to the nearer cabinet door looking larger than the one a little further away. I thought perhaps the class might like to see that. I believe I've also posted this in questions for the professor, and the resolution on that file will probably be a little better than here. Hi, Luce. Thanks for posting a draft for the first assignment. I know the week gets busy, but if you can, post with both. With the first, I think you've seen my notes. I don't think this drawing has changed. There were just some minor ideas for you there. The second drawing, the interior, looks marvelous. This is an excellent drawing, and it really shows the theory well. In addition, you've drawn some objects that are somewhat hard to portray in perspective. You've done this very nicely. Marcus's drawing is quite good. It shows your understanding of the concepts. Shading is not necessary, and you might like to try using a sharper pencil and or a lighter touch. Hi, Clabbert. Please let me know if I'm not saying your name just right. Well, with this first drawing, which is quite nice, I don't see any noticeable difference in the image. I did give you just a couple of very minor notes earlier on in the draft review, and thanks for participating in that review. Now, with the second drawing, you're showing the interior quite well. I wanted to take a look at the counters, especially the right counter in comparison to the fridge. And I believe the assignments ask me to actually go to a place and draw a place that exists versus inventing one. So my sentiment is that this piece of furniture or counter there on the right, at the right in the foreground, seems blocky and maybe a little clumsy in relation to the proportions we see in the refrigerator, the thinness of its door, and so on. Well, hi, Belinda. Looking at your first drawing, it seems that you have the concepts. Now, one little thing, the smallest box is below the horizon line, which suggests that we ought to see some of its top surface. Now, looking at the second drawing, you've got some of the ideas, but there's a ways to go. And I want you to go back and take a look at an animation, or it's actually a little like a game in class. I want you to take a look at that and think about it while you work your way through the entire thing to the end, and I'm going to send you that link. Hi, Shellen. I'm glad to see some of your work here. However, I will say it's hard to see it. It's hard to see it because the drawings do not seem as though they were square with the camera lens when you photographed them. Clearly, the one on the right was tipping back into space, and that makes it very hard to take a close look at your perspective. Further, the lighting should be even, and your artwork should fit neatly in the photo. Edges of other things that are not part of the drawing need to be cropped off. Now, with the drawing on the left, it looks a little sideways. Crop so that things are straight, photo so that things are straight. Missing here is the horizon line. Now, in the second drawing, it appears to me that you're doing a pretty good job with the tabletop here, which is the item that's most affected by perspective. With the far edge of the tabletop, that should be a perfect horizontal line, no slanting. The bookcase is very difficult here for you, and that's because it runs off the page. In future, give yourself the benefit of putting furniture such as that entirely within your composition.